Hello, and welcome to the EzTrade Software and Trading Preview. My name is Peter Ox, and I'm a longtime trader, particularly specializing in options. Been doing this for better than 20 years. I've, along with my colleagues, are portfolio managers and hedge strategists, also training people over a number of years. I myself have got better than 15 years as a trading instructor in options from basic through advanced. And over those years, I've seen literally tens of thousands of student traders at various levels, from basic through advanced. And I'd see a fair number of them over and over again because either they had the ability to sit through the classes again, or I would see them going through the progression of basic through advanced. And that gave me a very unique perspective because it allowed me to track the progress of them. It allowed me to basically compile the traits of the most successful traders. And the most successful traders, number one, would continue their education on a regular basis. What they'd do is they would take the refresher class, they would take the advanced class to tweak themselves in, and again, purge bad habits, or maybe learn something completely new, like you're going to see here. Because even after all this time in trading, I've learned something new here with EzTrade because they've got a better way to handle options trading. We'll get to that. Number two, they've practiced regularly, and practice in the recent years is consisting predominantly of backtesting and virtual trading. Backtesting gives you the ability to get the instant results. You can get years worth of trading done in mere minutes or hours. You don't have to put a position on and wait for it to change as the market does. It's a great way to get a lot done. The other method is virtual trading. For those who aren't properly equipped for backtesting, now you basically put a trade on with virtual money on your trading platform, and now you have to wait. But the point to all this is that practice is important because what it does is it gives you the ability to develop a muscle memory of sorts for trading. Just like a martial artist is trained in that fashion, you go and learn a particular technique and you practice it over and over and over again so that when you find yourself in a situation where you need that technique, you're not thinking about it anymore, you're just doing it. And the same thing is important in trading. When the market presents you with a situation, now emotions don't control you, your training does. So now you automatically do the right thing without thinking about it. That's the way it should be. Part of that is number three, creating a plan for each trade. You've heard the expression, plan a trade, trade your plan. This is important. This also makes it easy for you to, number four, maintain consistency. And consistency is important because all too often I've also seen that for a given situation, rather than following your plan, rather than following the design of the trade as it was supposed to be, people start getting involved in a little bit of improv while the position is still opening. More often than not, that doesn't lead to good results. What's also important, number five, is to remain objective. This is far easier said than done if you don't practice, if you don't have the right training, if you aren't equipped with the right type of tool that lets you become objective. And that's important when you have criteria presented to you, as EzTrade will present to you. For example, if these criteria need to be met, it's either a yes or a no. There's not a, well, yeah, it kind of fits. And that's the part that starts getting ugly. So these are the things that make the students successful. Now, granted, there's also the dark side. There's problems that people tend to have. The one most often is the affliction with analysis paralysis. Using traditional techniques of finding trades, you start off with technical analysis or fundamental analysis to select your trade because you're starting with a stock or the ETF or what have you. Then, once you find your basket of opportunities, your candidates, your semifinalists, if you will, you then come up with, you allow all kinds of difficulty creating viable trades from these candidates. Sometimes options don't lend themselves well to certain ones. No matter how nice the chart looks, if the option trades aren't viable, it's not a good trade. So again, we're going to have you do things a new way that's more options-centric rather than underlying-centric. Number three, this is one that I've seen more often than I care to admit, is that students have success primarily in one market condition, usually the one they were trained in. If you had the predominance of your training during a bull market, that's where you make your best money. If you've had your training in sideways markets or channeling markets, those are the kind of strategies you feel most comfortable with. If the market does something different, now you have trouble. You start to try to adapt to it. But then rather than doing things according to rules, number 4, your trading technique isn't consistent anymore. So now you start to vary. You start to, to wallow in all kinds of different kinds of situations where you don't get the result that you wish. This leads to frustration and ultimately a total lack of confidence. And when people get that total lack of confidence, they quit trading, which then leads to a huge loss of opportunity, which is a shame. Also, I've noticed, number 6, is people restrict themselves to using only the tools available from their brokers, broker platforms. This is not to say that broker platforms aren't good. In fact, a lot of them are actually quite powerful. But again, they still use traditional analysis techniques, whether they are underlying centric or even options centric. Again, EzTrade does the options side of it in a different way than I've ever seen before. For example, are you doing this? Now here's the traditional technique. Are you searching for a universe of stocks? Do they have the right setup, charts, fundamentals, and so forth? You find out which one of them have options. Do they satisfy all the option criteria, volatility, probabilities, what have you? Then you try to put together a good option trade. Do the strategies even work? You end up with false positives when further filtering the results of your trades. And this ends up having you spend hours in front of a computer without results to show for it. This gets frustrating. It's outdated. You don't make money. It's the whole reason why we're here in the first place. Now with EzTrade, you'd rather be doing this. Number 1, you search for the universe of options for the best combination. In this case, now since we're trading options, that's what we search from. You use filters you can't even apply to the underlying. Credits, probability, expected profit and loss, so forth. These are things that we do uniquely here. You then have all the trading analysis done automatically. This is the mouse click in this case. Your results don't show up in a list of candidates. The results showed up in prepared option trades. You just put the trades on. So now you save a whole pile of time eliminating further need of trade analysis. A couple of clicks, you eliminate your false positives, you get the choices you want, and these choices can then also be pushed to your email accounts. You can go to a smartphone. You can get your results anywhere, anytime, on any device. So now the question is, well, wow, okay, how do I use all this stuff? Well, it's actually not that complicated. EzTrade also has a university. This is the training side of it. For those who are completely new to options trading, there's something called Bootcamp, which also happens to include an educational version of the EzTrade Builder software. In Bootcamp, you have a very regimented curriculum. Starts right off with options basics, calls, puts, buying them, selling them, rights, obligations, strike prices, and so forth. You get into straddles and strangles, very simple techniques. You get into vertical spreads, which is the building block of all the more elaborate trades you could make. One of them happens to be the Iron Condor, which is a very popular trade. You also have an introduction to volatility trading. As an options trader, you are a volatility trader, whether you realize it or not. So volatility is important. You also learn how to add probability to your trading acumen. And this is probability calculated in a unique way. It's not using standard approaches. And then from all of this, you learn how to create your own personal trading system based on your capital availability, based on your risk tolerance, just based on your taste. Now, for those of you who already have some experience, there's something called Level 1. This also includes the educational version of the EzTrade Builder software. And you learn now how to apply volatility filters to the trade searches that the software can do. You can further narrow your results by applying probability to improve those results. In other words, now you also have fewer results. Sometimes if you want to have fewer results based on capital capabilities, this is a better thing. Also having expected profit and loss criteria. From these, you build a very specific trading system using EzTrade Builder software. Now you're getting what you want. What do traders really want? Not the least of which, they want the fast track to success. People don't want to waste a lot of time getting to where they want to go. All right. They also want to keep it simple. People will only really do what they truly understand. And when they truly understand it, you have a higher level of confidence. When you have a higher level of confidence, you don't have trouble pulling the trigger. You also want to get trained without traveling. All of our work is done online. So now you can sit in the comfort of your own home or in your office if you want to do it after work or during work, however it works out for you. This is a great way to then gain confidence because you can also do these classes over and over. These recordings can be watched again and again. You spend a lot less time finding trades. Right? If too much time is being spent, traders begin to compromise on the criteria used for setups. In other words, now you start to become a little bit less persnickety about what you really want to have. Really less specific. You're in a desperate attempt now to get a trade. So now it's really easy to get emotionally invested in finding a trade, any trade, just to put something on rather than finding the trade. Big difference there. All right. You have viable trades sent to you every day. How nice would it be to be spoon-fed every trading day, 252 trading days a year, with viable trades made per your specification? This is beautiful. All right. So ultimately, you make money. This is why we're all here. So come join us. We'd love to answer your questions. Visit EzTrade.com to register for our free interactive webinar demo and frequently asked questions session. See you soon. Thanks again for watching. Goodbye now.